Baby, I'm so need, give up if I'm greedy. Shut up and just please me. It's like a dinner to a no touch. I don't ask for much, but I'm so needy. Baby, I'm so needy. I'm so needy. It's like a dinner to a no touch. I don't ask for much, but I'm so needy. Could we take a ride with me tonight? Tell me looking in my eyes. That's my. I love Enchanting. Shout out to Enchanting. Love Scarred, her new album. Y'all go tap in, check in. What it is, y'all? Your girl Black Pop, aka Soda Baby, aka Azuka, and you're now tuned in to Soda Talks TV. Recently, in the media, there's been a picture / video of Summer Walker going viral because she got her dimples done and her tits and ass look a little more plump because she did give birth to twins. And it sparked an interesting conversation of the trans aesthetic. And the quote by Fresco Melt says, "The trans aesthetic is real, but y'all not ready for that conversation." And it also followed up by the lyric that JT spit in her recent single called No Bars, where she says, "On my pretty like a transgender." And essentially he's right. No one wants to have the aesthetic conversation about y'all because we'd rather have that conversation about Asian doll, or we'd rather have that conversation about Cali, yeah? We'd rather talk about how big my titties are, or we'd rather talk about how big India Love's titties are, Yeah, you're not in the conversation because y'all are another topic. And if we're being honest, the plastic surgery all these girls are trying to get is trying to duplicate Asian doll's face. The high cheekbones, the cute baby doll nose, you can't really do anything to your eyes, but And as far as like, they're trying to say that the trans aesthetic is just overly exaggerated female features, big titties, big. India Love's body is 100% real. Men have always loved, big and titties, little titties. This is not a new thing, baby. No. And all in all, the trans aesthetic does not exist. And I need you to get that out your head today. Because it's like, if you want credit for doing hair and makeup and getting plastic surgery, you can take that to RuPaul's Drag Race. Because we're not even allowed to go to that. Because there's a difference. And you know what that difference is. That's like me going to work all dolled up every day, just looking good. And, I'm working around amongst other women who don't wear their makeup and who just look a mess every day. And that really is in real life. And I'm over there talking about, the aesthetic of me being the all feminine. We need to talk about this and we need to get credit for it. I need to get credit for it. No. Because if the girls that I work with, if they actually did something with themselves, they could be something. But, they have certain privileges that I don't have. Like this. So it's like, girl, it is what it is. And you know how you can see someone's face and be like, oh, you are very pretty if you did something with yourself. So it's like, you just imagine like the arrogance of it all, and, I was listening to a panel on the Armon Wiggins show, one of my favorite YouTubers still, and I was a little disappointed, but I shouldn't really be surprised because he is a gay man. There isn't any, and y'all could definitely take credit for that because there's nobody more messier than the gay man. No shade in y'all voice because You know, he's the one who really held this conversation and had no point. Like, he had no, like, so what's the point? What do you want us to do about, you know, this? And all he could really say is, oh, it's because we're black. Oh, because we have sex with men. Oh, this, and that. You know, it really wasn't a real point. It's like, because you're dancing around it. This is not about being black. This is not about sleeping with men. It's about feminine, the construct of feminine beauty. You're dancing around it, you know. And if we're gonna give the LGBT and trans community any credit, it would be for being messy and being whistleblowers. You know, I'll give you credit for the cancel culture. You know, we need tattletales every now and again. Not so much to the LGBT, but it's just like the trans. Like, now I see what it is. Like, goddamn, and this is how you know women put other people before themselves way too much. I should not be this invested in this conversation but as a woman, and, you know, as a person who just supports what I resonate with, you know, because I understand that they also have an underdog story. So that's what I resonate, and that's what I want to support. But when you get too big for your britches, it's like you gotta remind people who it is. It's just like who they are. You know, it's just like when Beyonce, the Destiny Child, had an album, their first album, and Beyonce was in the store listening to the music, and she was just feeling herself, ignoring her mother because she was feeling herself. So her mother smacked her to remember who she was. And this is one of those moments, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know those moments when it's like, it's not you, it's me. No, it's not us. It's you, trans community. And I know it ain't all of ya. Just as much as we have to listen to y'all cry about the things that offend y'all, you have to listen and respect us for the things that offend us when it comes to y'all. Because the reality of this conversation is that there's no comparing. You know, it's always going to be trans women versus real women, because there's a big difference between influence and original, you know. And since you want to take so much credit for, you know, the plastic surgery and the makeup and all that stuff, make sure you take the credit for the people that have body dysmorphia. Make sure you take credit for all the women that are risking their lives for the aesthetic that you feel like you deserve credit for. You know, you got to take the good with the bad. And you should also take credit for why these BBLs is killing y'all too. You know, it's a trend, baby. It's a moment. Just like the lingo, it's a trend. It's a moment. It's going to go in and out of style. You know, the makeup, it's a trend. It's a moment. It's going to come and go. So enjoy your moment while it's hot, you know, because I can definitely admit if a gay man and a transgender woman can outdo a woman physically, you know, then you can't get mad at them. You can only learn from them. You know, I can give you credit for setting a bar, but at the end of the day, everything you do derives from the original. Because I'm really trying to help you. No, yeah. So I just really need you to get that aesthetic out your head today. You know, because my only issue with the trans community is when you overstep your boundaries and try to cancel Aretha Franklin for celebrating herself as a natural woman just because you can't relate. My issue is when a gay man, Armon Wiggins, has the audacity to tell a woman that she doesn't own feminine energy, because he definitely said that. And you can't tell a woman that she doesn't own feminine energy if you can't carry life for 9 months and give birth to yourself, because you wouldn't be able to utter those words if it wasn't for feminine energy. So I need you to get that in your head today, because I let a lot of y'all live when they try, when Legos was like, oh, we're not gender biased, kids can play with all kinds of toys, just trying to, blur the lines and shit. It's giving agenda, it's giving agent of chaos. Just totally disregarding the confusion that causes for everyone else, all because of your temporary emotions, all because the trans community wants credit for hair and makeup and surgery that a woman had to push out of her womb for you to even get those procedures. That a woman had to push your ass out for you to even utter the words that you're gay. Don't you ever let no anybody as a woman tell you that you don't own feminine energy, because you do. So I need you to get that in your head today, because women are risking their life at an all-time high for the real woman aesthetic. All of this because of hair, makeup, and surgery. That's just the tip of the iceberg, baby, when it comes to feminine energy. Because if that's all you have as far as the influence of y'all, then if you ask me, the world hasn't been a better place since you've been able to influence, And it's, when it comes to femininity and womanhood, it's deeper than hair, makeup, and nails and who looks the best. So understand, you will never win. You can't be in that conversation. You're another topic. They don't expect trans women to be the example of the world. They expect you to suck and go, and they expect the thrill of being able to sleep with a woman who has tits at the top and at the bottom. Let's be honest. It has its pros and cons, don't it? That don't mean you don't deserve respect, but that doesn't mean we have to acknowledge certain things. You can acknowledge that amongst y'all people. You know what I mean? There's no other way to put it. Just as a sex worker has certain stigma and certain things that comes attached to it, that don't mean she don't deserve respect. But, they know what the reality is of that. And it is what it is. And really, the trans community needs to be grateful that a woman ever complimented yo ass. Y'all need to be grateful that JT ever gave you a shout out. You need to be grateful that Beyonce even paid ode to house music that y'all danced to in the ballroom and stuff like that. You need to be grateful for that. You see, a motherfucker get acknowledgement from Beyonce and don't even know how to act. And don't try to talk about, oh, well, I'm fighting for women's rights. How dare you? I'm fighting for... Are you fighting for women's rights because you want to throw it in my face or for brownie points? Or are you really doing it because you really stand for that? Make it make sense, because I don't need nobody to justify me. Because if something was to happen to you as a trans woman on the news, you would make it known that you are a trans woman from the LGBT community and this is wrong. And if you're a trans woman sleeping with men and you got the surgery done down there and you're not telling people you used to be a man, you're deceptive. Blasphemy. Because knowing that little bit of information, could change it all. Because just because we have 2 clear bottles of liquid doesn't mean that one bottle is full of bleach and alcohol versus the other clear bottle is full of real water. And it would just go to show how ignorant and arrogant it would be if the trans community doesn't understand why they have to respect why women deem trans aesthetic disrespectful. Like, imagine if you're a real woman and someone comes up to you, you did your hair, your makeup, someone comes up to you, say, it's giving trans. it's given trans. Essentially what they're saying is you're doing a really good job at hiding the fact that you're a man. Because if you're not, you look like a very beautiful woman. You know, there is no such thing as trans aesthetic, baby. Because if we even try to agree with that, pretty soon there'll be a blog about the new woman, and a real heterosexual woman will be a thing of the past. No, you're not going to erase my presence. And you want to know what their argument was on Armon's panel? They was like, it's because we're black. It's because, y'all the ones who call God a man. We call God a woman. It's because we're the same man. We could never. A real woman and a trans woman could never. A real woman and a gay woman could never be the same man, could ever be in competition for the same man. The only man that me and a trans woman could ever be is a man that I didn't know was DL. Because no man that I would ever want to marry and have children with would ever be interested in a trans woman or anything LGBTQIA related. You know, you just got to accept that. Not because of him, discounting the fact that you deserve respect and you exist too, but just the fact that everybody don't want y'all. Like, you need to really understand that. Talking about, oh, we're in competition for the same man. Who? In competition for the man that was hanging and slaying your ass in the beginning of time because he didn't want you to allow you to be who you were. You know, all women ever did was accept y'all for who y'all are. And this is the thanks that we get. Talking about some competition because some hair, makeup, and surgery. All women ever wanted was equal rights and respect. Talking about some goddamn competition. Y'all the only ones keeping the score for some hair and makeup. Anyone who begs you to acknowledge them for everything that you naturally are is in competition with you. And there's no need to come to terms. You know, y'all go y'all way, we go ours. Maybe we need to start talking about giving y'all your own bathroom. Really? It never bothered me, but just the mindset of just that that this comes from y'all, this type of energy, it bothers me a little bit. It's like, you know what? Maybe you don't deserve certain things. I don't know. But you bit off more than you could chew with this one. Talking about some aesthetic. All in all, the trans aesthetic does not exist. It's not a real thing. And I need everyone to get that in their head today. It ain't gonna be no we gotta get y'all a new bathroom. Y'all get yourselves your own bathroom. It ain't big enough for the two of us, baby. And I don't give a about agreeing to disagree. If you disagree with me, you deserve to be blocked. Go find a page that they agree with your ass, because it's not going to be over here. Okay?